FF Champs members doing a outside broadcast today on this beautiful day. So bear with the sun and the traffic and the noise in the background. But we got the Travelers PGA DraftKings GPP tournaments this weekend, and while there's no millionaire maker, I'm playing in both the $3 and the $33 tournament with $15,000 and $50,000 first place prize money respectively. I want to do a quick recap of our last week's video in the PGA Championship. I had a good week and gave you guys advice that you would have done well with, of course, if you followed it. We had 12 of 14 golfers make the cut. The only two missing it were Dustin Johnson, which obviously burned everybody, and JB Holmes. But 12 out of 14 mixed around lineups is a pretty awesome way to go. Did not win the million, did not come in with a six-figure prize, which is always my goal every week, but did have several lineups in the top 5,000 and definitely was, ended up in the money and making money. Quick recap, I had said last week to do a blend of the top four. My number one pick was Jordan Spieth, who came in 13th. After that, I had said Stenson and a little bit of Jason Day, and obviously some Dustin Johnson. So Jason came in second, Stenson 7th, Spieth, my number one pick at 13th, and obviously DJ was a bust. But if you got a blend of two of those, like we had said, then you did well in some lineups, really well. After that, I love Bubba Watson. Didn't help me very much. He made the cut but came in 60th. Kind of disappointed. But the next four that we recommended really, really helped come in the money. We had Brandon Grace at 4th, Patrick Reed coming in 13th, and then my two sleepers, both who were low-owned and really did well. Emilio Grillo, I love that kid, at 13th, and Francesco Molinari coming in, continuing to play well at 22nd. So it was a good week. We're on to the next one in the Travelers. So this week there are several top golfers in this par 70 short course up in Hartford. Bubba Watson owns this course, has done really, really well there. You're going to have him in some lineups. The top four golfers or top five golfers in this week's tournament are Watson, Brandon Grace, Brooks Koepka, Patrick Reed, and Matt Kuchar. I'm going to have exposure to at least one of them in every lineup and a little bit of Bubba in a couple places. But the two guys I really like and I'm riding are going to be Reed and Kuchar. Those are the two guys I'm going to have heavier than the others in the top of the salary board, everything above 10,000 there. Next, there are three guys to kind of pay attention to. Jon Rahm is everybody's darling. He's going to be highly owned. The guy's a phenom, but he hasn't really done much yet, so I'm going to have a little bit of exposure to him, but I'm going to fade him in many of my lineups. And the other guy is Chad Campbell. For some reason, everybody loves him. He's had some success at Hartford, at Travelers. I'm going to fade him in all but one lineup. Got to always have him in one place just to say I did and make sure you protect yourself. But I'm going to fade Campbell, and I'm fade Rahm to some degree too. The third guy who's going to be tough to fade right now is Haddon. Haddon is playing just incredible golf. He could win the tournament. He'll be highly owned too, but probably less than Rahm and Campbell, so I will use him. On to the guys I kind of love and like. Jeltsin. Jeltsin is playing great golf. He's quiet. He's won in 4 top 10s. He's been in 16 and 19 cuts. He did pretty well this weekend at the PGA, and he'll be in the money. He should make the cut, and he could win the tournament. I'm going to have a little exposure to John Curran. He came in 10th last year. Just like him. I think he could have a good week. It's a course that plays well for him. Chris Stroud's another guy. He'll be owned, I think, pretty well. But he has come into this tournament 5 years in a row and come in respectively 10th, 18th, 2nd, 37th, and 13th. So he's tough to ignore. 5 years in a row, 5 cuts, 5 top 25s, and 1 37th. I like Ryan Moore. He came in 5th last year. Not my favorite pick of the week, but I'm going to have him. I like Molinari again. He's made 5 cuts in a row. The guy's playing great golf, and he actually could win this tournament this weekend. Bottom line, he could come out on top. I like Patrick Harrington. Back, playing well. Again, he's a guy who could sneak up here and win this thing. I'm going to have exposure to Patrick Harrington. Justin Thomas. Gut feeling on Justin Thomas. Last week it was the other Justin. This week it's Justin Thomas. Again, a guy I'm going to have in a few lineups with the hope that he could actually win this thing. Smiley Kaufman at 6,400 and Hurley at 5,900. Same thing. Kind of like him. Going to have him in a couple places. And the one sleeper is Alex Sejka at 5,700. Throw him in a couple lineups. I think he'll surprise. So if you follow that strategy and you blend Reed, Kuchar, use a little bit of Bubba, use a little bit of Grace, but really go with Reed and Kuchar, and look to some of the fades like Rahm and Campbell, have Haddon, and then go with some of those guys. Jeltsin, Curran, Stroud, Molinari, Moore, Harrington, Thomas, Kaufman. I think you'll have some success, and we'll be back next week to see how we did. Enjoy.